Hey fam, I'm back, ready to give some more stone cold truth. Some people don't like to hear the truth, but the truth will set you free. So let's get to it. First things first. Today we reached a milestone. More than 82,000 Americans have succumbed to this COVID-19 virus. That's more than the Vietnam War, more than practically every war we've been in 2 months. 2 months ago today, there was 84 people dead in America. 2 months ago today. Now there's 82,000. And on the day we hit 82,000, 82,000 comes the day after our president has said, we have met the moment. And basically, we are victorious. The virus is behind us now. The virus is behind us now. That virus ain't behind us. It's looking you square in the eyes. If it was behind us, you wouldn't be leaving your house without a mask still. But you know what's really happening? 2 people that work at the White House has tested positive. And the White House is in a frenzy of testing now. They're in a frenzy of testing. They finally seem to get it. The problem is, it seems like it only applies to the White House. Because in the White House right now, they're testing. They're doing antibody testing. They're doing contact tracing. They're doing everything. Exactly what the rest of the country needs. They're doing it at the White House, but not for the rest of us. They think they're more important than we are. They think they're more important than we are. But they're not. Remember what the United States of America is. The United States of America is not a place. Understand this. It is not a place. It is a collection of people. You can see a place on the map, but that place was there long before it was the United States of America. The United States of America is a collection of 350 million people. And not one of them is any more important than any other. Not a governor, not a mayor, not a senator or a congressman, not a president, not a cabinet member, not a military. No one person is more important than any others. We all have different roles that we play. But there's none of us more important than the rest of us. Not black, not white, not Latino, not Asian. No one is more important than anyone else. We are all equally as important. Which brings me back to Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia. The disgrace of the district attorney's office in that place is unparalleled. The corruption that clearly has gone on within that department needs the federal government to root that out. But may I submit to you that Brunswick, Georgia is not an anomaly. I suspect you could look at any small town, particularly any small southern town, and see shades of the exact same thing. Brothers and sisters, it's time to stand up and be heard. It's time to stand up and speak with authority, and speak with righteousness on your tongue. You know right from wrong, but you still won't vote. I'll challenge everyone who's listening to me. Find 5 people. 5 people that you can convince to vote. Don't matter who you vote for. I don't care what party you vote for. Democratic, Republican, Independent, Green Party. None of it matters. But if you don't exercise your franchise, you are disenfranchising yourself. Convince 5 people to vote. And tell each one of those 5 to find 5 more to vote, and tell those 5 to find 5 more. Why is America the only place in the world where only 45 to 50% of eligible voters show up to vote? Because you have let the other side convince you that your vote doesn't matter. Ask yourself, why are they trying so hard to convince you that your vote doesn't matter? Because it does. Because it does. And they all know it. Stand strong, people. Stand strong. Put pressure on these politicians. Put pressure on the district attorneys. Yes, put pressure on them. That's your job. Your job is to hold fire to the feet of the people who we've elected to represent us. I believe it was Thomas Jefferson that said, the people should not be afraid of the government. The government should be afraid of the people. It's your job to make them shake in their boots. You have let them off the hook. And I say you, what I mean is we. We have let them off the hook for far too long. It's an election year. Nobody's doing anything right now, but you know as well as I do that if not for this pandemic, we'll see all these politicians showing up in black churches and in black neighborhoods, but you never see them in our neighborhoods in non-election years. So here's what you do. When they show up in your neighborhood this year, run their asses out. Say, don't come over here unless you represent us. And you represent us by what you do with the way you vote in that Senate and in that Congress. If you can't stand for us there, then don't bother coming to my neighborhood trying to convince me to vote for you. That's what you tell them. You tell them, get out of my neighborhood. You're not welcome in my church trying to pretend you care about my issues. If you cared about my issues, you'd show up during more than just an election year. They all say, let's see where the facts lead. Even with video. Clearly the man who took the video was involved. According to the 2 murderers, the statement they gave to the police, they said the gentleman that was videoing them tried to cut the running man off as well. That he tried to stop him also. But they called him by his nickname. His nickname. We all have nicknames, pet names for our buddies, our friends, relatives. Who knows those nicknames? Who knows those nicknames? Our friends and family are the ones that know those nicknames. That man claimed he had no relationship with these two murderers, but they know his nickname. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. He came on television last night to answer questions and did not answer a single question. Why do you think that is? Because he recognizes his culpability. He and his attorney recognize that he has some culpability in this. He was a participant, not a witness. He didn't have a gun, but neither did the getaway driver in a bank robbery. The two that went in to rob the bank had the guns. The getaway driver is just as guilty as the two that went in. When you are involved in something, you are involved. And you are fully involved all the way to the end. They made a law for that. You know what it's called? You know what it's called, man? You know, I mean, we all know if you're involved, you're involved. Hold them all to account. All of them. All three of those men participated in the murder of an innocent black man who was guilty of nothing more than running in a neighborhood where people didn't want him running. We can see through all the other foolishness. They can say all kind of things, official sounding statements. It's all foolishness. We know reality when we see it. We're not children. We're not children. We know. I'm 50 years old. I am no idiot. I know what happens in small southern towns. I'm from a small southern town. Make them pay. Make them answer your questions. Make them stand in front and answer those tough questions. Don't let them pass the buck to someone else. This case, this man was murdered nearly 2 months ago. More than 2 months. In fact, it has in fact been 75 days ago. And in 75 days, it took 72 days for there to be an arrest. And they've burned through the first 3 district attorneys already. The police department and the district attorney's office in Glenn County, Georgia, have done everything in their power to make it impossible to prosecute and convict these murderers. Hold their feet to the fire. We should not be afraid of them. They should be afraid of us. Fire those bums and replace every last one of them. Fire the bums. Get them out of office. Why hasn't the governor removed these people yet? It's within his authority to remove those people from office. Why has he not done it? Because they're all in cahoots. They're all in cahoots. Those people do not care about the death of an innocent black man. And you know how you can tell? because they're not outraged, they're concerned. Concern don't change nothing. It takes outrage to change. You ain't angry yet. What will it take to make you angry? I guess you won't be angry until you're a slave again. Because that's what they're trying to send this world back to. White people owning Negroes. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Get angry. It's time for you to be angry now. If you're not angry now, I don't know what will do it for you. I'm done.